what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the film John Wick Chapter 4. Now again, it stars Keanu Reeves in the role of John Wick, and of course you know he played him like in the 3 previous films. Now the director of this film is Chad Stahelski, and he's the one that directed the previous 3 films too as well. So I think that is a good combination that if we have the same director and same like star from like the previous films, so you know you're getting kind of like the same like total like package as you got the other 3 films, which I thought were, you know, like pretty cool. But this particular film right here, this time it's about John Wick seeking like revenge against like the high table, and at the same time seeking revenge against the people who left him for dead. So you have like various like shootouts and action scenes, and they're all like awesome, I ain't gonna lie. I must admit some of them I thought were probably too long, but I still like how it feels like almost like a video game, like the way like the action set pieces are set up and filmed and stuff. I like how they design it almost like it's like a live action video game. I think that's pretty cool. Like it's like endless like gunshots, I mean, and gun battles and gunfights and so on, like headshots and all. I do think that's very cool how they did that, because it does seem like it's very few like big budget films that have that kind of, you know, style of like action. Now you also have Donnie Yen in the film, Bill Skarsgård, Lawrence Fishburne, Lance Reddick. You know this is Lance Reddick like final performance too, or final film I believe. I think he has something else too, but I know this is like one of his last roles because you know he died here recently. So he returns like in the film too, as well as Scott Adkins and so on. Because like Bill Skarsgård, he's like the I guess you could say the villain of the film. He's known as the Marquise Vincent de Gramont. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And he's like a powerful member of the high table who has been challenged by John Wick. And I don't want to go into what happens with him too much, but because it kind of spoils it. But he does turn to be kind of, I guess you could say like very like kind of ruthless at times, you know, but I don't want to get into his character too much. And then you have Donnie Yen as Kane, and he's like a very like well-trained like assassin, and he's like blind too as well. He also mentioned that he wasn't always blind too at one point. But I'm also hearing that there's going to be like a spin-off film in here too as well. That's going to be like a spin-off based on I think the ballerina chick, if I'm not mistaken. And you also have Lawrence Fishburne, who returns as the Bowery King and so on. He's like there to like assist John Wick and all them kind of things like that. Kind of like he was like in the previous film too as well. And then you also have Scott Adkins, and of course you know he's like the head of the German table. Ian McShane, who returns as Winston Scott, and of course he's like the manager of the New York Continental Hotel, and he was always like a friend of like John Wick. So he's like back in the film, like, you know, like with like another like major role, but I'm not gonna really touch on it too much. And you also have I think he called it I forget what Haruyuki Sanada. He's like the manager of the Osaka Continental Hotel, and he also has like a daughter too, known as Akira too as well. But I just leave it at that. I don't want to touch on them too much, but they're like a big part of the film too as well. But the film is like almost 3 hours long. I couldn't believe it was that long. I think it's exactly like 2 hours and 49 minutes, and there are like some end credit stuff in the film too as well. So if you watch all the credits, there's like a scene after that, but I'm not gonna spoil what it is. So you do have to watch like all the credits, because there are like some eggs in there. Because they're doing like a spin-off film too as well, like based from the John Wick film series. But like I said, like a lot of the action scenes I thought were probably too long, and at times they can be kind of so like over the top. But it's cool though that it could be like hilarious, because it's just like so over the top. But it can still be like it's still like it's entertaining, and it is like I like how this film that is, like I said, it's like a video game brought to life. So I still think that's pretty cool. But there are like a lot of other things in the film too, like with like John Wick's character that I would like to touch on. You can still tell he has like emotions for like his wife and so on. It's like he's trying to accept the idea of like dying and all that kind of stuff like that. So it's like pretty interesting. And then Donnie Yen has like his relationship with like his daughter and so on, that he wants to go free and all that kind of stuff like that. Now there's also like this other character known as Mr. Nobody, and he's known as that's what they call him, the Mr. Nobody. He's like a bounty hunter who's also pursuing John Wick, but at the same time he's actually with John Wick too as well. He's like on his side too. It's like he's like good and he's like bad and all this kind of stuff, because there's moments when he's actually trying to pursue him, and the bounty on John Wick's head like raises up, like it goes up way up. I think it went up to like 40 million at one point, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to spoil it, you know, but he's like one of the other bounty hunters that's actually kind of pursue like John Wick 2 as well. But at the same time, he's kind of like an ally too, so it's kind of cool. He has like his own dog too that he seeks out to attack like the enemies and so on. But overall, I gotta admit, it was like some moments in the film that I thought kind of like drag. I feel like it was like kind of just too slow. And it doesn't feel like it's this long of a film, like 2 hours and 49 minutes, or you can say 3 hours. It doesn't feel like it's that long of a film, but there are some moments where it kind of like drags and so on, I think. But then like I said, the action seems like it could have been like too long. There were also like some cool moments throughout the film, but like the sound effects, I don't know who's on the sound editing, but they did like a good job on like the sound of the film. Like whenever it was like shooting and stuff like those stuff like when the film opens, you see like a Keanu Reeves with John Wick like punching like the thing and so on, and it's like this like thing, cause he's like practicing like his martial arts, I think. It sounds very cool the way it sounds when he hits like boom, boom, especially like in theater, because I was watching it like in IMAX. It probably been even better like in Dolby Cinema, but it does have like a good sound like effects to the film itself too, as well. The John Wick Chapter 4 film, like a lot of the various sounds in the film I thought sounded pretty cool. I kind of want to give it a C, but I still think it was kind of much better than that. And I still think like the previous films, if I can remember correct, I think I enjoyed those kind of more. But I'm still gonna give this like a B minus. And I would definitely recommend for fans with like the John Wick film series. I think it is like they're putting these together very nicely. I think they're doing pretty good with these. Like the action set pieces and the action scenes, I thought have done very well, you know. So I'm giving this a B minus. Please leave a comment and subscribe to it as well.